Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. I kind of want to just go around and get general thoughts before we kind of dig into stuff. Start with Chris. Fire away.
So you guys know I'm a big Spidey fan. Always have been. I've seen every Spider-Man live-action movie opening day. I intend to do the same with this one. I'd be excited no matter what.
We should see it together.
We should.
You've been in a Spider-Man movie, technically. Not a solo Spider-Man movie, but a movie that Spider-Man is in.
If you can't tell, Brandon's very fascinated with Chris's extra career.
Brandon might know it better than me. Yeah, but sure. Yeah. I basically played Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, in one of those movies. Nobody knew it. It was uncredited. But in any case, I'd be excited no matter what they put out. I will say, though, I think this trailer is being a little overhyped. It's a cool trailer. A little pumpkin bomb definitely got me tickled. But other than that, it's a trailer.
He's tickled.
I don't know. I think it's a little overhyped right now for what it is. Okay. I'm excited with the movie, though.
Brandon?
Yeah. Well, this trailer was overhyped before it came out.
Yeah.
And that's just the internet. The internet tends to do that.
Brandon, I probably blocked this out. So you tell me, what did that happen?
Well, if I recall, the sequence that you were in Civil War was a church sequence. So that's like a double whammy if you got harassed at church.
Oh, you are correct.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of hype before, like so much, and that's what I texted Ryan. I was like, this thing is just way too hyped right now. There's no way it's going to live
records,
up.
Right? Views already.
Yes,
probably.
It's already it was like 7 million more views than the Batman trailer in like way less time. So,
word. I too think it's overhyped, but I did enjoy the trailer, and like I told you guys, I'm very happy and surprised that they held back as much as they did. I don't think that will continue going forward. I think they're definitely going to, play their hand with a lot of those reveals. Just
the last time we thought that was theatrical Justice League when they didn't market Henry Cavill at all. See how that turned out.
By the way, I tried to slide into his DMs for you guys, and he ignored me.
What? Some of that. Does he know you're in an Oscar-winning movie?
I hit him up through like the grappling account because he used to train. I was like, "Hey, what up, Henry?" I tried to get him on CiNEMACHiNE. He ignored me. So I don't know. Not my Superman anymore.
Did it say red?
Hashtag it.
Did you get the little red indicator that he read it?
No, he didn't even bother. I know he read the preview and he just didn't want to give me the red. I know how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just leaving it. He's leaving it unread because he's got to get back to you. He's busy right now.
Yeah, maybe.
He's in the woods. He's found his Everence and those types of things. He's got his computer he's building or something. He's busy.
So Brandon, what did you think about the trailer?
I think I said it. I thought it was good.
Ryan, what do you think?
Again, I think I'm glad that they held back on it, and I feel like it was great. Obviously, yeah, the Goblin bomb was cool to see. The way that they I know this is a trailer, so it's super kind of streamlined. Edits. The way they present the multiverse, how they get into the multiverse was kind of clunky. I hope that it plays out a little more,
well, it was
natural.
It was reused footage from Doctor Strange, I think.
Oh, really?
Was it?
I think some of it was literally taken from his first movie, like when he's casting the spell and the rings break apart and we see all the colors and stuff. I think a few pieces there were taken from Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Britt.
This is kind of what I wanted in this trailer. I'm kind of with you, Brandon.
But I also wanted to say Doc Ock. Love that. It was great. Great seeing Doc Ock.
Hello, Peter. Which Peter do you think he was talking to there?
Who knows?
Good question. Good question.
De-aging. What do you think about that, though?
I mean, I kind of figured. I don't know what Alfred Molina looks like now. So
you saw him in Promising Young Woman, or was it Promising Young Woman? I think
that's true. Yeah, he was in Promising Young Woman. I mean, if it's because if they're bringing back that version of him, that means that they probably are bringing him back before he died, so he'd have to look like that, around that age. Before you go, Ryan, one other thing I wanted to mention was I wonder if this whole potentially teeing up the Tobey and Garfield Spider-Men. I wonder if it's very just kind of more cameo and set up for the actual, if they're possibly going to be involved in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie, because if you've got a Doctor Strange movie that has Multiverse of Madness in the title, you would think that they're just going to be pulling from all these different characters and IP that have been established throughout the years. The only thing that gives me pause that they wouldn't do that is because I feel like Sony is trying to move away from Marvel proper and do their own little thing with their Venom and Morbius and all their stuff they're doing. And so they would probably want to keep the Tobey and Garfield potential, stuff back in their camp. So, but being that Sam Raimi is doing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I don't know.
Do you know how big of a, in my opinion, Tobey and Garfield have to be involved in this movie? It would be
such a letdown.
Yeah.
WandaVision all over again.
Right. So no, it'd be way worse, Chris. It'd be way worse.
It was interesting because the leak happened, and then you had people like Grace saying, well, now you at least know that Tobey and Garfield are confirmed. So, but they weren't in this trailer. So I don't know what the leak was. Was the leak something different?
To some extent, he's going to have to put the multiverse back in the box by the end of this movie. And it just seems like too awesome of an opportunity to not have the help of two other Spider-Men from the villains that you're from their villains being involved as well.
I don't think you put I don't think it's going back in the box.
You think that every movie, I'm not saying you're going to put it all back. I'm just saying there's got to be a resolution to the movie. They're not just going to let the, they're out. All right.
I think they're teeing it up.
Universe in a way, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's called No Way Home. So
sure. I still think there's going to be a resolution to some extent.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be one of those things like in Into the Spider-Verse where there's the we fix things, but that door is open.
Sure, but they fix things. Whatever. Fixed. Put them in jail. Incapacitate them somehow.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Ryan. What are your thoughts?
No, I was a fan of the trailer. I liked how there was a lot of they kind of stuck a lot of you got to go back and rewatch, and it's little things in there like Sandman potentially, the Lizard potentially, things you don't catch on a first glance. And probably stuff that they didn't mean to put in there, like the Daredevil thing.
It's not a Daredevil.
I agree.
I see slamming papers.
Look, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm here to defend you.
This is my defense out of the gates. But no, I mean, it was cool. I will agree. Got chills with the pumpkin bomb, and it is
and the
so
laugh.
Awesome. Yeah, so awesome
now,
to see.
You mentioned that you.
You let me give my general thoughts, Brandon.
I was going to let you talk about something
tonight.
Just hearing Alfred Molina's voice again as Doc Ock. You just never would have expected it, even 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So yeah, that was very cool. Both chill-inducing moments. What's up, Brandon? So what were you saying?
Well, you mentioned that. I think you put this on Twitter, but you also texted all of us saying that you felt like that voiceover after the laugh.
I didn't say it. I asked it. Chris said it and confirmed the validity of my suspicion. It sounds like James Franco to me.
If I'm looking for it to be anybody but Doctor Strange.
I don't understand why it would
saying-
be Doctor Strange, because at the beginning of the trailer he calls him Peter. Why would he call him Parker?
Because he has both of those names. I don't know.
I don't know. Just seems like it got really informal. I mean, really formal all of a sudden. I don't know.
I'm going to still cross my fingers. But I think if I had to place money on it, I'm going to say it was still Strange voiceover. But yeah, I did. You asked. I said James Franco, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like a long shot,
but
it's would be amazing.
Yeah.
People would lose their minds. Oh, man. Especially if they were able to keep that under wraps.
So speaking of losing minds, I'll make you guys lose your minds. If it had never been for me watching WandaVision and I saw this trailer and had to do some fan theories, I would immediately think to like the One More Day comic book arc of kind of like what they're doing with the story and be like, I don't know, maybe Mephisto's involved and it'll be a reveal.
Oh boy. Oh boy. In the trailer, it does seem weird that Strange is like, all right, let's go do it. Yeah.
I think it's Strange. I don't think it's Franco. I just pulled it back up and listened to it. I think it's Strange.
It doesn't sound like him to me at all, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't see them. I don't see them bringing Franco in when it's seemingly
like I would put my money on someone else besides
Goblin.
Strange before. Like obviously Franco's a long shot, but I would put my money on not Strange before Strange. It just doesn't sound like him to me.
Yeah. And Brandon, you played the PlayStation games, right? Like the PS4, PS5
the
ones?
dialogue itself. Be careful what you wish
one.
for, Parker. Just feels like it would be Strange warning him against changing things. Yeah. So anyway, what were you saying, Chris?
You played the most recent couple games, right? The Spider-Man games.
Spider-Man, yeah. I haven't finished the Miles Morales one yet.
So I never played them, but I thought I saw an early trailer to where they were using the villain, Mr. Negative. Was he like a big part in those?
Yeah.
So,
he's like kind of the main villain.
Okay. I'm wondering if we'll get a cameo from him in this movie, because in one of the scenes where we see Peter running with the black suit on, it looks like he's in like a soup kitchen type of a thing. Yeah, and in the comics, that was kind of where I forgot the guy's real name, but Mr. Negative, where he was kind of set up and knew Aunt May and everything through the volunteer work. So that might be yet another potential. I don't think you'd be a main.
You said you did or didn't play the first one?
I never played them.
Chris? Yeah, I haven't played the second one. First one is awesome, and
Martin Lee.
Basically, that whole storyline is the main storyline.
Yeah, Feast is the name of the soup kitchen. That's where Aunt May works in the game. She does. They haven't established that yet in this continuity, I don't believe. Maybe they have. No. Britt could tell us.
I don't think so.
But yeah, it does look like that. Looks like it could be Feast.
Yeah. But I'm stoked. I'm kind of like this is one of those where I'm like, all right, I'm good. I don't need to see anything else.
I agree. I would love to go in completely blind. I really hope this movie comes out in December. Mm-hmm. We'll see though.
So we can hang out in December.
Yeah. Venom got pushed back today again. So
I saw that.
I don't know what they're thinking.
But we will see, I suppose. All right. Ready? You guys have anything else you want to say on that, or should we move on?
Do you have any comments beside, do you have any thoughts about everything outside of the whole, it was cool to see the Goblin, it was cool to see Doc Ock, anything to do with Peter's basically being outed now, and that whole, that's something that hasn't really been dealt with on a level like that, where everybody knows that Peter is Spider-Man. So
that's one of those things that was making me think back to some of those earlier 2000 comic arcs where Civil War, he'd revealed himself, everybody knew, and that's what led into that One More Day arc where he sought Doctor Strange's help to make people forget, because Aunt May had assassination attempts on her, and then there was the whole Mephisto tie-in, and then it ends the relationship with Mary Jane, and this was a more mature like later in his life. Peter Parker and a lot of these comic book arcs that the MCU has been borrowing from. So it is interesting, like the different takes they have with using a very young, early, like origin style Peter Parker, but they're pulling from stories that we saw in the comic books as he was like older, he was more established. He'd been through a lot. He had, established relationships. He was no longer a high school student. He was either professor or working for Tony Stark, or successful in some capacity. So that's where I had seen something similar done with that arc before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously they got to take a whole lot of kind of creative justice on how they're going to go about it and what the fallout will be, because it has to be different, because we're looking at two very different characters at this point. But no, I mean, I'm excited to see it, and it's cool to see the tie-ins and then also know that it's going to be different. So it's almost like nods more so than direct adaptations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hope that we get more than tiny little cameos from all these characters, and I know that's going to be hard to do, given how many there are. Obviously, there's some characters I want to see a whole lot more of than others. I don't care about Electro. I don't really care so much about Sandman.
I hope that the rumors of Green Goblin being the main big bad are true, because that would be so great.
Norman Osborn is huge in the comics. Throughout everything. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's.
What did they ever do with Stark Tower? It
was purchased at the end of Homecoming by like somebody anonymous, and there was hints at the end of Far From Home that maybe the Fantastic Four acquired it, I think, with some of the billboards on the walls.
Okay.
But then in Loki, I think there was a
pretty sweet Oscorp building.
Good.
Pretty sweet. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of like you. Sandman, Lizard, and Electro. I don't, I'm not super. I like the Lizard in Amazing Spider-Man, but it's not as compelling for this story to me, I think.
I just think the Green Goblin's probably the best villain in Marvel Comics. The way that like the Joker is kind of arguably the best villain in DC Comics.
Yeah, like watching the animated series, I totally agree. Like growing up, when I was watching Batman, I was like, please be a Joker episode. When I was watching Spider-Man, I was like, please be Green Goblin or Hobgoblin, one of the two. So yeah, we're 3 movies in now. Like at some point, you've got to introduce that character with Spider-Man, like at least to some extent.